Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for listening. This is Failing Better, the hilarious self-help guide for losers like you. I am Sean McLaughlin.
I'm Jonny Pelham. Oh, sorry.
We've had a week off.
And together, we are
Failing Better. Jonny, isn't it good to be back?
It's so exciting. I mean, we haven't really had a week off. We just had a week of that was too bad to actually release.
Yes, in case our listeners don't know, we didn't release an episode last week. We sort of every 10 weeks we tend to have a week off. That's sort of the rule we've set for ourselves. Because obviously we work so hard on these recordings.
We're working harder than teachers. 6 weeks off in a row. Exactly. You should be ashamed of yourself.
But then last week we did an episode, and about 30 minutes in, neither of us had said anything remotely funny or interesting. And so we decided to sort of abandon it. But listeners will have an opportunity to listen to that lost episode and a few other lost moments very soon. Right, Jonny?
Yes, because we are doing a Patreon. And it's quite... The thing is I think we're going to sell this quite hard as like the lost episode. Oh, are you going to be at this lost episode? Heads up, lost episode, a lot of it, total shit. But... It's still sad. So if you want to hear the lost episode, then you can by giving us a little bit of money and subscribing to our Patreon.
Yeah, basically we've been talking about the Patreon for ages, and we were very excited about it. When we first had the idea, we thought, great, people are going to pay us to do the podcast. I mean, that's the dream. And then it sort of quickly emerged that would be we weren't sure if we were that comfortable with it. But we think we've got a nice structure where you, the listener, can support the podcast and in return get more of this shit. Maybe, Joe, I've just actually thought about it. Maybe we'd get more. Would you think we'd get more sign-ups if we promised to never do the podcast again? Like hush money from the general public.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe that's a good way of doing it. Right, let's do a Twitter poll. Let's do a Twitter poll this week about whether people want us to would they pay us to never do a Failing Better again, or would they pay us more to get a bit of extra content? It's a good question.
I'm quite depressed, actually. What if the result is never to do it? I suppose it's better for us, isn't it?
That we're sitting on free income then for the rest of our lives. People have to pay us not to do another ep.
Imagine if we made like millions, like we made like everyone got involved, like Obama got involved, Joe Biden made an announcement. Yeah, it is every American's duty to.
Trump got involved. Like it brought the unified the divisive political scene in America was a desire for Failing Better never to be released again.
Imagine if we became like so rich that like it was aristocracy, like we became old, like our ancestors, not our ancestors, our descendants. Like, say, my granddaughter. I was going, God, you know,
we get
she's very well off, isn't she? She's very well off. Do you not know her family did? Yeah, her family were paid to not do their terrible podcast. Be like alongside oil barons and shit like that.
We get invited to Davos at the next World Economic Forum.
We've put them in a soundproof box. This is a signal of what humanity can achieve if we work together. They've stopped doing this horrible podcast.
Putin and Zelensky shake hands. Putin agrees to give back the Donbass region in exchange for
Israel and Palestine. They just immediately settle their differences.
Well, that's the power we have.
Well, look, the more I'm thinking about this, the more... I mean, that's a win for me, to be honest. If we get paid to not do this podcast, that is significantly better than not being paid to do this podcast, which is currently where we are.
Well, yeah, that would be great, because we love doing the podcast, but we sort of are losing a bit of money, so if you do have anyone who wants to support it, that would be great, so we could try and keep on buying eggs and bread and milk.
Buying what did you say? What was the first thing you said?
Eggs. I
thought you said begs.
Keep buying begs. That's what I said.
I'm sure you said begs.
I could have. I mean, I am very stupid, so I could have said begs. Like it's. I mean, who knows what I said?
You can't make an omelette without breaking a few begs. Well, go over the tier system, shall we? Because Patreon, it's like there's different tiers of support, and basically what we've done is we've made it so it only makes sense if you give us £5 a month.
I think it makes more sense to give £3 a month. And there's a £10 tier. To be honest, if anyone does that, you'd be an absolute legend if you did that. But I mean, it feels a lot.
Yeah, it's an awful lot.
Yeah.
Well, look, yeah, basically, you can either support us by giving us £3 a month, £5 a month, or £10 a month. That's how you get... Johnny, will you stop rubbing your eyes?
I just couldn't
like a
believe...
cartoon mouse who's tired.
I couldn't believe the deal.
Johnny Pelham can't believe his eyes, and he came up with this pricing structure. Should we read out what you get?
Yeah, I've not got it up, so you read it out in a list form.
I'm going to read it out in list form.
No, read it out in a different form. Read it out. Read it out.
I'm going to read it out
in quadratic equation.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to read everything out of sync and out of order, and it's up to the listener to sort of piece it together what they get for how much.
A jigsaw. Read it out in jigsaw.
Shut up, Johnny, you stupid twat.
What a horrible thing to say.
By the way, happy birthday, John. It is also Johnny's birthday.
It's my birthday. I'm a birthday boy. 31 years old.
How are you feeling?
A bit depressed, really.
Why?
I think 31 is one of those ages where it's like, if I was a footballer, I'd be meant to lead I'd be either captaining and leading my team to glory, or sort of being faded out.
Yeah, but you're not.
And that's why it's depressing, you see.
You're not a footballer, and you're doing neither of those things for this podcast.
If I was Jordan Henderson, I'd be happy with my life. But as Johnny Pelham, I just think, what am I? What a smuck. How old are you, Sean?
I'm 34.
So you must have what I have, but even worse.
No, I'm delighted. I think my life gets better with every year.
Do you?
Yeah.
Imagine when do you think that starts dipping down, or do you just think it's endless up?
To be honest, I think the plateau happened about a couple of weeks ago when I well, I'm not going to say I had bad diarrhea, but let's put it this way: I'm not allowed in my local Wimpy anymore. I think I reckon Jordan Henderson. Jordan Henderson, by the way, for our international listeners, is the Liverpool. He's not the England captain, but he's the Liverpool Football Club captain. Very established. But I reckon he would look at your life. I was about to say be jealous. I don't know if jealousy is the right word.
Nah.
I think a prince and the pauper type situation would reap a lot of wisdom for both of you. Like if you had to live as Jordan Henderson for a week and he had to live as you.
I think that's an interesting question. Is Jordan Henderson happier than me on a day-to-day basis? Because he has money and fame and success and a brain that works. And
yeah. And he's achieved sort of international acclaim in his chosen field, which is very competitive.
Yeah, and he's got shoes.
He's got shoes, yeah. And he's not like a... Well, I wonder what his Patreon's like.
To be honest, because Johnny Henderson probably earns £150,000 a week. If he started a Patreon, I'd think that would be really, really a bad PR move. You know
I feel like that about a lot of podcasts, to be honest. And I want to say this to you listeners right now. There are a lot of podcasts who ask for Patreons, and they're caning it on the advertising money. We need to stress this enough. We cannot stress this enough. We are really in a hole here. We are not doing this because we want to do it. We're doing it because we need it.
We both feel quite sort of weird about it. But some podcasts do it after like one ep. They're like, if you want to sign up to our Patreon. I feel like at least we've done like 3 or 4 months of none. We've burned a lot of money, and now we'd like to try and just lose less money.
Yeah, and also we are giving you extra content.
Stuff,
We've been recording secret extra content for the last few weeks, which you'll immediately get access to, all of it.
Oh, exciting.
You'll get a dick pic a month.
Oh,
from either me or Johnny,
or a random stranger. And if you sign up to our Patreon, you have to be willing to allow us to take a picture of your genitals to send it to other members of the group.
That's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
On every tier.
Yeah.
You don't like it? Take it up with Jordan Henderson, Liverpool captain. He's not going to know what you're talking about.
Everyone this week should at Jordan Henderson. Actually, don't do that. It'd be too weird.
Yeah, I don't think it would even touch the sides of his mentions, to be honest. I think if Jordan Henderson started a podcast, that'd be weird, actually. I wonder if football teams will start Patreons. Like if you pay £5 a month to Man United, basically every week you get to watch them do 10 minutes more football. I don't know what that would be, but...
I think you're vastly underestimating the riches of football clubs. Because £5 a month would do, like, even if they got 1 million, maybe if they had 1 million people pay £5 a month, that is quite a lot of money.
I think Man United would get enough people to do it.
Maybe we should pitch the idea to them. Maybe we can be Man United's official Patreon hosts.
If you pay Manchester United £10 a month, you get 20 extra minutes of this podcast a week. Don't ask for the logic.
Yeah. What's going on? We could be like sort of pestering journalists like, Ronaldo, what's going on? I'd love to annoy Ronaldo.
Would you?
There'd be nothing more fun, I think, than being in a car in front of Cristiano Ronaldo, just Porsche or whatever he has, and just going a bit slow
Well, look,
Just
if you want to annoy Ronaldo, you basically just need to bring up the fact that he fucking should be in prison in America. Anyway,
wow. Yeah.
Google that. Anyway, Patreons, Cristiano, if you are listening, you've got to come on the pod. You've got to clear your name.
Clear your name. We've had Messi. Isn't it a shame that Messi did tax fraud? It's all the great footballers are actually immoral, corrupt.
I think Messi's thing though is all his dad did it. I think.
I know, but that's just if Jimmy Carr said that, you wouldn't let him off. I just think because he's a delicious tiny footballer, everyone's like, he's a 30-year-old man who's breaking tax.
Delicious. What do you mean delicious?
Look at him run, dribble past players.
Do you think Lionel Messi's a good-looking man?
No, I don't. I'll tell you what I don't.
Keep in mind. Keep in mind. I am the spitting image of him.
Everyone says that Sean looks like Lionel Messi. But the thing about Lionel Messi, he's notoriously small. You're like Messi is like the first version of a Pokemon that evolves into you over time.
I will absolutely take that.
You're a more evolved Messi. Your
Jonny,
Messi has evolved into a Sean McLaughlin. All of your HP points are reduced to none.
I'm the only Pokemon in history that you actively don't want to evolve.
Yeah, he's like, fucking, I'm going to evolve.
Oh, no. He's just crying now. He used to be able to do skills.
Yeah, he scored 50 goals for Barcelona last year. Now he's host of a shit podcast.
Do sign up to the Patreon. I do hate my face. Before we go and talk more about the Patreon, I hate my face. Honestly.
Why? I wasn't expecting you to say that at all.
Yesterday I got 3 messages saying, you look like this bloke. It was fucking Jeremy Hunt was on the news.
I don't think you look anything like Jeremy Hunt.
Honestly, the range of people that people say I look like range from some of the most attractive men in the world to literally like a stain on their boiler.
Yeah.
I've always stop sending me shit. I get it. I've got a relatively anonymous face.
Right, listeners, this is a clear message to anyone. Please send Sean as many people. Not even things like if you see a bin that you think looks like Sean McLaughlin, send it to him. If you have any items, humans, whatever, that look a bit like Sean McLaughlin, send it to Feeling Better Pod and we'll look at them and laugh. Is that a deal, Sean? Because I've always thought
great deal.
I've always thought you looked a lot like Mugabe. That's the person I've always said.
Fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. You're a stupid idiot. You look like you work in Gringotts Bank. How about that, Jonny?
Oh, I do.
Do you know what Gringotts Bank is? Because you acted there like you didn't know.
It's in Hogwarts. No, it's not in Hogwarts. It's in Harry Potter world, and it's a bank.
It's in Harry Potter world. It's a bank.
It's a bank in Harry Potter world. But Jacob Elliot's been criticised because what creature? They're not dwarves, are they? What the elves? Goblins.
Something like that.
Goblins, and there's apparently quite a lot of anti-Semitic tropes in it.
I would say that in terms of conversations to have directly before we ask our listeners for money, this has got to be one of the worst we could have chosen.
Right,
wading into the thorny issue of modern anti-Semitism. Look, no matter who you are, you're welcome here, okay?
This is an inclusive space. We should push that more. We've got an inclusive Patreon as opposed to all those exclusionary Patreons that are out there.
Yeah, I would describe our Patreon as very inclusive.
Yeah. Unlike Off Menu, which is exclusively a white zone. Can we say that? That might get
fuck them actually. No, fuck them all.
Fucking
have a word. Use their money just to attack dogs.
Yeah. They've got a dog.
They're running dog.
They've got a dog kicking arena.
Yeah. They went to a dog fight, an illegal dog fight, and they were like, "Nah, this isn't violent enough."
Yeah. The dogs have too much of a chance. This is quite a horrible thing about to say. Every dog they get all their teeth removed, and they can just kick them without any fear.
And do you know what we're going to do though? We're going to do the opposite. Not only are we're not going to force dogs to fight or be kicked. We're going to force dogs to kiss. So that's an honest podcast. You're giving it to big-hearted people here.
Big question: is forcing dogs to kiss worse than forcing dogs to fight? That's for the RSPCA to tell us. It's not. We're just asking questions. Yeah, all right. The British Magistrate Court on the 8th of October to decide. Look, okay. When did it become a problem to ask questions? Yeah. Would a dog rather fight than kiss? Let's find out. Not just dogs. We're going to force all sorts of people to kiss. Yeah. Dogs, like people. Zebras.
Zebras.
Can we make a hen and a zebra kiss? There's only one way to find out. That's my biggest-
We need a lot of you to sign up to our Patreon and preferably have connections within the exotic animal sales department
And
of a major zoo.
we've got Joe Exotic on next week. Is he in prison or is he out of prison now?
Well, he's in prison, I think.
And he's coming on this pod next week.
Imagine if we got him.
Joe Exotic.
Yeah, we just asked him what he thought about Jordan Henderson. Anyway, shut the fuck up, Johnny. We've got podcast tiers. Should we talk about what you get, what you can get if you give us money, listeners?
Let's do that.
You got to support me and Johnny. Come on, you got to support. It's Johnny's birthday. It's the
That's a
ultimate present.
That is a good. Yes, that is good. It's my birthday, and what more could I ask for than a few little Patreons?
All I want is a humble Patreon, please.
Please, sir, can I have some Patreons, please?
Please, sir. I don't want much. I ain't got much in my life, but I just want a little Patreon or two just to see me through the winter.
Yeah, I like that. Maybe they'll remake Oliver Twist as is a podcast. He's a podcast.
He is a podcast.
No, he's a poorly performing podcast host, and because obviously Oliver Twist is great, but he's set in the Industrial Revolution, which we're now in the digital revolution. So maybe they need to update it. Then he's a podcast. He's a host trying to make it work. He's struggling. He goes to Spotify. Please, sir, can I have a Spotify deal? He gets kicked out of Spotify, and eventually it's until about humble.
And so what does the guy say? Spotify? You want Spotify?
Yeah, that's it.
Who will buy my wonderful Bitcoin? It's all just like digital, just shit digital references all throughout Oliver Twist.
Please click on my hand. Oh, God.
Oh, dear. Anyway, more of that comedy coming behind a paywall. Listen, for £3 a month, you will get early access to the podcasts.
Oh.
You will get access to watch this on video.
Video, you say?
Video, you say? What day is it? Why, today is video day.
And you can see how Sean McLaughlin looks like Messi, Jeremy Hunt, and McGarvey.
It is the face that launched 1,000 shits. You'll get access to video episodes, and you'll get extra content per episode, like we've done the mail and fail bag behind a paywall. And you'll get basically all of them. You get that, all the tiers. You get that. Plus, you get the bonus episodes.
The bonus episodes are like monthly episodes we're going to do where we do something a little bit kooky. We're not really sure what that means yet. I just keep saying the word kooky because I find it quite annoying.
It's weird that you want to be annoying. That's a very weird trait in a person.
I think
anyway.
that's overwhelmingly true of me. If I could be
Yes.
liked or annoying, I'll choose annoying.
Yes. That's definitely the sense I've got. £5 a month, you get all of what you got before, but you also get
what you got before? Sorry, that was annoying. That was me.
Can you
being
just try and be likeable for just 3 minutes? Johnny?
All
How
right,
about
deal, sold. I think you look really beautiful today, Sean.
I would say that you have a very warped view of what being nice is.
I love your teeth. And your bone structure is just to die for. It's just nice.
It's like when you put your sim onto flirt mode.
Your shoulders are so broad. I'm just trying to be nice. Is it going well?
It's going well. I'm a bit it's a bit too early in the morning for me to really deal with the emotional ebb and flow of the Johnny Pelham emotional tide. Listen, shut the fuck up. £5 a month, you get all of that. Plus, you get first access and heavy discounts on tickets for Lady Gaga live. No, it's not. It's for our live shows. For our live podcast. If and when we do a live podcast, £5 a month, Patreons and up, we'll get tickets.
Do they get free tickets or do they get heavily discounted tickets?
I think heavily discounted implies free. I think it's sort of, we don't know yet. We don't know where it's going to be or what form it will take. But you'll get first access and you'll definitely get at least...
And by heavily discounted, we're thinking of doing it in Croatia, and we mean we'll fly you all out there.
Basically, £3 a month you get nothing. £5 a month you get a free trip to Croatia.
Yeah,
so
you're coming to Minsk with us. Is Minsk in Croatia?
it's definitely not. I think almost. Are you thinking of Split?
I might be, yeah.
Minsk is in Minsk in Belarus?
I think it might be. I just don't know.
Paul, do you know where Minsk is?
No.
Well, sign up to the Patreon for our bonus video. Where is Minsk? Do you know what? I'm sick of all these other podcasts asking for money, and they already know where Minsk is.
It's
not
ridiculous.
us. We're honest.
Yeah, we don't know
You're
where.
right, it was Belarus.
Good
Fuck
knowledge.
yes, it was Belarus. Suck my dick.
What, me or Minsk?
Minsk. The people of Minsk. Get the mayor on the phone. Right. This has got to be the worst Patreon launch. This is the worst Patreon launch.
I don't think anyone's ever said Minsk and suck my dick. Look, we'd really like some money for... We're really trying hard on this podcast. We'd like some money to keep supporting it. Minsk, people! Suck my genitals!
Yeah, that's true. Actually, genitals. It doesn't have to be the penis. It could be anyway. That's something I can. That's a personal matter, a personal preference. £10 a month. Imagine that, listeners. Imagine that. £10 British, by the way. This is sterling.
Can you pay in euros or dollars? Do you know? You don't know that. I don't know that.
You almost definitely can, but it's probably the exchange rate. Is probably built into it, or maybe it's just 10 of whatever the currency is.
If you've got
10 rupees, 10 yen, paying absolutely nothing.
Yeah, 10 francs. This went out of date years ago.
Yeah, £10 a month. All the others: early access to podcasts, access to video episodes, extra content per episode, plus all the other stuff that we haven't done. Plus discounts to the live shows. Plus, you will be personally referenced / lightly insulted on an episode of Failing Better. Woohoo! We want to mention all our £10 a month. I mean, just a bit of fun for you.
Just a bit of fun.
Just a bit of fun. And
a bit of light ribbing.
I don't think it will be ribbing, to be honest.
What do you think it'll be?
I hate my name, and I actually think most other names are better than my name. So I've always been very jealous of people who aren't called Sean McLaughlin.
So if you give us £10 a month, we'll rank. So do you think Jonny Pelham's a better name than Sean McLaughlin?
Yes.
All right. So we'll. So
do you,
Paul?
Sorry, what was the question?
What's your
very good question, Paul. I don't know what the question was.
What's your surname, Paul?
Daniels.
Daniel. So should we rank our three names? So Sean.
You haven't referenced the fact that his name's Paul Daniels on the pod, have you? We haven't referenced that.
No, we haven't.
And we're not going to, Paul.
No, you're above that, I think.
I think actually we're beneath that. I think the idea that our producer is Paul Daniels soars way over the heads of our hosts.
That is quite exciting. So whose name do you think's the best? I think Paul Daniels is the best name.
It is a good name. I think Jonny Pelham's a really good name.
Yeah, I think so. Sean McLaughlin's last then.
Do you know what I've realised about my name?
What?
My family pronounce it wrong.
How do they pronounce it?
Because people always go, is it McLaughlin? Is it McLaughlin? And it obviously is, but we don't pronounce it like that.
It's not McLaughlin.
Yeah, because it's Celtic, it's Irish, so the GH is a F.
McLaughlin?
Yeah,
I'm going to start calling you McLaughlin.
I really don't like that.
It's Jonny Pelham and Sean McLaughlin. That's exciting.
Well, happy birthday. What a gift I've given you.
Yeah.
So that's it, basically. £3 or £5 or £10. You will get all, basically, look, only if you can afford it, only if you want it. It would be nice if you could. And no worries if not, really. That's sort of how we're playing it. You also will get an hour of stand-up from each of us that isn't available in the public domain.
I think that's it. And basically, because it's been quite chaotic, this announcement, I think we'll list all the things you actually get in case you're trying to keep up. Because
oh yeah, I mean the Patreon came out yesterday, so go on our Instagram pages or go on @FailingPod on Twitter for full look, or just look up patreon.com/failingbetter,
and you will get all of your questions answered, so long as your questions are about the tier system of Failing Better and not about wider philosophical, existential, or personal matters.
On with the episode. Pleasure. Good to be back, everyone.
Woohoo!
So welcome back, listeners. I mean, you must already have got your credit cards out, I assume.
Yeah, you've got your checkbook out.
But the episode's not finished yet. There's plenty of time for you to decide to increase that regular donation. Or, indeed, decrease it.
Nat West get loads of people going, this is fraud.
Let's get loads of people going. This Patreon, for the first time, there's more people requesting that we pay them to keep listening to it.
You know, sometimes fraud comes up when you buy something unexpected. I think everyone who tries to sign up to a Patreon to this thing might get flagged for fraud. Their debit card stopped working instantly.
I had that last week. I was trying to buy jeans and my card kept getting cancelled. I was like, I'm buying jeans.
Just Nat West just thought, this doesn't add up.
There's no way. He's gone to Levi's to buy jeans. This is not the Sean McLaughlin that we know.
That's funny. Yeah, that is good. Well done, Nat West, and you. That can be a routine, couldn't it?
What are you talking about?
It could be a comedy routine. I'm so poor, I went to Levi's and tried to buy some jeans, and my card cancelled. That's right, the bank. That's the structure of a joke. You're off.
It is the structure of a joke. Congratulations, Johnny. 'Tis the structure.
Yeah, it just needs the words obviously need to be different.
So, Johnny, shut the fuck up for 1 second. You're 31 years of age.
I certainly am.
And what have you learned in those 31 years? Is there anything you want to elicit to the listeners?
I've learned never trust anyone. They will break your heart.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's the main thing I've learned.
And it sounds like you've learnt that the hard way.
I certainly have learned that the hard way. I first realised that when I was just a young boy, and since then everything's been a bit worse.
We're not. Can we not talk about your childhood, please? We're trying to keep this a fun podcast. Don't talk about your childhood, please.
Well, I just relearned that I should never open up or be vulnerable or trust anyone, even my podcast host, who up to this point I'd seen as a rock, a ballast holding me down from the emotional winds that blow us all.
God, I wish people at mid would blow me. Anyway, I don't know what this means, what I just said.
Sounded horrible though, didn't it?
It didn't sound nice.
The thing about you, Sean, is what we got vulnerable, you panicked, made a crass joke, and now we're moving on. Typical McLaughlin behaviour, I'd say. Maybe at 35, you'll learn to be a more vulnerable man.
Or maybe at 32, you'll learn to shut the fuck up.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
Yapping bird.
I am sad.
I am sad. Sad childhood. Uh-oh. Rum and coke.
All I do is drink.
What are you doing for your birthday? Before we carry on, because this episode we're organising your birthday party.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, of course I remember. I am my sister's. I'm seeing my sister for the first time in 2 years. I'm only allowed to see my sister on one day every 2 years, and we've chosen today to be the time.
How lovely! What are you going to do with her?
We are going. We're just going to Dishoom in Manchester, which is
big fan of Dishoom.
It's very good restaurant.
Incredible stuff.
Is there one in London or is it?
There's loads.
It's
London's,
great.
Yeah. There's like 4 in London. We've got the Dishoom cookbook.
My friends, don't you have to spend like hours and hours cooking onions?
Yeah, you do, but that's just life anyway, isn't it? Life is all about cooking. Everything's about cooking onions when it comes down to it. If you want to if you want to, bleed the radiator, you got to fry onions. It's just, that's life.
Is that a metaphor, or has someone given you some very bad advice that you've never questioned?
An onion salesman, a door-to-door onion salesman made that claim, and I believed him. Are you not frying onions right now? I'm frying them to do a podcast. That's what he said to me. He goes, "You're doing a podcast? Gonna need some onions."
It would be great if someone once heard a metaphor and took it literally and just applied it all their life. That'd be fun. And then one day it dawned on him, like, what? Oh, God. I've not been to the doctor in 4 years because I just keep eating apples. I wonder what this tumour is.
What's this tumour? You go to the doctor. Yeah, you've been eating a fuck ton of apples.
Yeah, you've too many apples.
Not sure if you noticed, but you're turning into a bloody apple.
You've eaten too many bushels.
Can I surprise you, Johnny?
You can.
I was invited to the grand reopening of Dishoom Covent Garden over lockdown.
Oh wow!
They had done loads of renovation work, and it was the first day it had reopened, and it was invite only, all free. And me and my wife went.
How did you get an invite?
My wife used to
Sleep with.
My wife is having an affair with Tom Dishoom. No, they were. My wife used to work in a. She used to work for a brewery, and they used to sometimes provide the Dishoom. Basically, she knew someone there, and it was without.
Shouldn't have asked why.
But I will say this: it was the worst dining experience of my life.
Oh, why? Why?
Because the waiters were brand new, and I don't like attacking the wait staff, but genuinely, this lot should have been fucking shot.
This has been out quite a bad side to you.
No, this was really shit. This was like...
What did they do? Did they like pour it on your head and...
Call me curry boy. Dance for me, curry boy. They kept saying like, oh no, you're not allowed more. You're not allowed more drinks. They kept saying you're not allowed more. We went, but it's on the menu. And they went, yeah, you're not allowed it.
Well, were you acting like? Do you mean drink like? But alcoholic drink.
They said only one of you is allowed an alcoholic drink, and one of you has to have a soft drink. We were like, is that true? And she went, yeah, that's true. And then we did that, and then we said that doesn't sound true. I've never been to any restaurant where that's been true. Then right, so that was our server. Then another server came over, and we went, are we allowed to get another alcoholic drink, like another? She went, yeah, of course. Why were you not? I go, oh, we were told we weren't. She goes, what? You told you weren't? So the other person comes back, gives us our second alcoholic drink. Then our original server comes over, who'd originally had obviously made a mistake, and then literally said to us, how did you get that drink? Then one of my wife's friends who works in the cocktail department saw that we were there, brought over like 7 cocktails for us on the incredible. I mean, the food and drink there is so good. So our poor waiter,
he had an aneurysm.
Had constantly been telling us you're not allowed to get drinks. Leaves, comes back 2 minutes later, and there's always more and more booze. Anyway.
We went to, the other day, there's a Karen cafe or restaurant opened up in Manchester.
Is that a cafe for Karens?
Yeah, it's where everyone's rude. So you go in there.
Everyone's entitled.
The waiters go up there and go, oh, you want a birthday meal, do you?
I say happy meal.
Yeah, you want a happy meal.
You want a happy meal? Sorry, Johnny, you're in the wrong restaurant.
Yeah, they're really polite to me. They're rude to everyone else, but they see my face and are like, God, this guy's okay. Well, yeah, they staff tell you to fuck off and call you mean things, and you can swear back at them.
Is that the point?
Yeah, the whole point is that so you walk in there and be like, it's weird. The problem was we had to make a genuine complaint, but in a world where complaints are like encouraged, it's very hard to know what to do about that.
What if that isn't what the restaurant is? What if you've got in there, studs up,
just gone like you're a fucking bitch. I'll give me my burger.
You stupid arseholes. I'm ordering your shit fries.
No, it was because they were really mean to me, and no one's mean to me unless they're being paid to do so.
What do they say to you? Do they insult like your look, or do they just or the sort of general demeanour?
Well, I'll be honest with you, Sean.
They go, your podcast's really bad.
Yeah. They have a little crystal ball at the back when they get to your deepest fear, and they just say it out loud.
Is that your deepest fear, that this podcast is bad?
That's my deepest fear. That's what I talk to my therapist about. This podcast. It feels... People keep writing in saying we must stop. Putin and Zelensky are shaking hands trying to get us to stop. I still think it could be good.
So what do they say when you walk into this? Is it called the Karen restaurant? So is it based on being a Karen?
Yeah, it is. And so the idea is...
That's such a weird... Kind of, it's a good idea, that. I guess everyone needs an angle.
Sophie was really up for it. I was less keen on it. The problem is, we booked in...
I was less keen on being called a cunt as I paid to eat dinner.
I was just like, this feels such a... It felt like such a wank. It felt like such the problem with the modern world is, let's do a cafe where everyone's mean to each other.
Yeah.
Sophie was really up to it. But the problem is, the place shut at 10. We had our reservations at 9:30, because that was the only time they had available. But then we didn't know if we could actually eat in half an hour, because it's not very long. So we try to not complain, but talk to them about this problem. But they just kept telling us to go fuck ourselves. So we never actually got resolved, because we didn't actually know. We were like, no, but seriously, I know I'm a bastard and all that, but can we eat our burgers? Is that going to be enough time? It's half an hour enough. And they're like, is it enough time for you fat twat? I'm like, no, we need to we need some actual information here.
What I like about it is that restaurant sounds totally interchangeable to a restaurant like that we would just... If we formed a restaurant, it would be that, but without the premise.
Yeah.
It would be people going, have we got enough time to eat? Go, fuck off, you fat twat.
That is the dining experience of failing back. Me and you anxiously cooking burgers, sweating, telling people to go fuck themselves.
Well, if enough Patreons sign up, we'll do a culinary event where we will cook and serve food. That's a Sean McLaughlin. That's an SM guarantee.
And that's a JP guarantee. An SM and JP. Ooh.
Well, you're drinking a lot of coffee out of that cup there, Johnny.
I know. I just quite like coffee. It's a lovely latte from M&S. Things are going pretty well for me on my 31st.
Well, they're going to go even better because in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to organise your birthday party.
OMG.
Now, Johnny, you said you're meeting your sister. You've been to a Karen cafe. But it sounds like there's one birthday experience that every person needs. And that is having a super sweet 16th.
I would love a super sweet 16th.
Well, I found a guide. The Ultimate Sweet 16 Party Planning Guide.
Woohoo!
Huggerteen.com.
That's too creepy, I think. Can we say it's not from Huggerteen? It feels too... Huggeradult.com.
Huggerteen.com. That is a weird name for a website.
Yeah, it feels quite disturbing.
I'm sort of half expecting the police to knock on my door any minute now.
Are you Huggerteen? It's not what it looks like.
It's not what it looks like.
I'm just trying to plan a 16th birthday for this guy.
So I'm doing an episode of Failing Better. They go, what? No, you're definitely under arrest. For wasting police time on the way here. We listen to your pod. If your teen is about to turn 16, you're most likely discussing how they would like to celebrate this milestone. What did you do for your 16th, Johnny?
No idea.
Great.
Not even a clue. What did you do for yours?
I don't know.
It's too long ago. Anything.
It's not a milestone to me.
I think it's bigger in America, is it? It doesn't feel
because you
like
can drive there and stuff.
16
get a
nothing
gun
here,
and
is
stuff.
It? Get a gun. Yeah, you can get a gun at 12 though.
You can buy tobacco. I think when I was 16 you could buy cigarettes.
Oh really?
I think. And now it's up to 18.
In Brighton you can get marijuana, can't you, at 16? You
can get marijuana wherever.
Oh,
if you haven't discussed what their wishes with them, then please read Sweet 16... Oh, shut the fuck up. What's all this all about? Your teen might not want a traditional party. They might want a beach. Might want a beach party instead. What would you rather have, Johnny? A traditional party or a beach party?
I would love a beach party. Beach party, please. I want a beach party.
Tropical sounds.
I want Kesha playing. Kesha as a DJ. Me.
Kesha as the DJ, not performing.
No, as the DJ.
Yeah,
Me
just as
wearing.
the DJ.
I'm going to wear coconut. I'm going to have a coconut bra as a little bit of fun. I'm going
to have a coconut jockstrap.
Hello. Sign up to Patreon.
Sign up to Patreon. Now, first thing you need to do is figure out the budget. You will need to have an honest discussion about the budget for your beach party, Johnny. I've seen how quickly party costs can skyrocket if you don't budget and plan ahead.
What do you think is a reasonable budget?
What, for a beach party? Well, it depends.
Yeah.
Are we going to do it at an actual beach or are we just going to turn like a bar into a beach?
Oh my god. Why wouldn't we do it at an actual beach? Because I guess no one that we know lives near a beach. That's the problem for beach, isn't it? We'd have to get everyone there.
We could do it on the docks of the Thames.
Let's do it on the docks of the Thames, because there's those little tiny beaches that pop up, aren't
those tiny, gross beaches full of just bin bags. We'll just have
doing
one
it there. Yeah, we're doing it there. Oh,
Yeah.
Party
this is serious.
In the house tonight.
This is some serious easy living. Pour me a Malibu and Coke. Time to get Caribbean. If you have a big enough budget, you might want to host a party at a venue near you. Nah, we don't want to do that.
On the beach, motherfuckers.
It's going to be great. Right, length of the party. The length of the party really depends on what type of party you're having. If it's a relaxed picnic in the garden on a summer's day, then your guests might enjoy a swim, some yard games.
Swim? Where they get? Oh, you can swim in the Thames if you want.
Yeah. I think that's what I would say. I would say the length of the party should be, I reckon, from sort of 4 p.m. to whenever.
till
4
late.
a.m..
I
Yeah.
like it when they say till late.
Till late.
Yeah, till late, baby. And by
So
late, I mean...
nondescript, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's really annoying. We're open till late. Oh, great. Well, I'll plan my booking arrangements on that, shall I? That sort of completely abstract word, you fucking nugget.
Well, this Karen Cafe really did a number on you, didn't it?
They're really mean to me, Sean.
I think, yeah, that's the thing. If we do it 4 till late, people can come, enjoy a paddle in the Thames.
Talk to Kesha.
Talk to Kesha, who I assume is constantly going, the checks keep bouncing, I don't know why I've agreed to do this.
She, at the end, when it's time to everyone, when it's late, when it's officially late, she'll start singing TikTok and everyone will have to go home. That'll be the sign.
Do you know what, Johnny? That's really good, actually.
Thank you.
I can't argue with that. Invitations. Now it's time to decide how many guests you'd like or are able to invite. Traditionally, Sweet 16 parties are a big affair where friends and family are invited. However, if your teen would like to have a glow-in-the-dark disco party, then perhaps Gran and Gramps wouldn't be that keen on attending. Are you going to invite your Gran and Gramps?
Both dead, both coming. I'm chiseling their gravestone out and popping it in the sand by the Thames.
So Gran and Gramps, I mean, skeletons are there,
Yeah,
or just the gravestone?
We did an episode. The last episode was about how to talk to the dead.
Yeah, it was.
So we've got a clairvoyant there who's talking to my gran and grandpa.
And who else are you inviting? Are you going to have a big affair, or are you just going to keep it select?
Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Because we've got Kesha, my dead grandma, my dead grandpa, me, presumably you. Is that enough? Maybe it's just us 5.
Going for a paddle in the Thames and talking to your dead grandpa. I mean, that's a great party. Kesha, yank up the tunes.
Yeah, so maybe maybe just us 5. But then we'll put a Facebook event, but we'll keep it open to the public, so maybe anyone will turn up.
Yeah, it's sort of open. Yeah, I agree.
Kesha's banging out, a good DJ set. We could get anyone there.
I mean, I think it's fair to say that if you do this party in central London in broad daylight, which is kind of what we're imagining, and you've got Kesha and 2 dead people having a party on the beach, you are going to attract a few onlookers.
And also, we're going to get a lot of failing. I'd imagine the Failing Better community would want to come down. So we might, it might end up being a bit of a. We might have to end up in a Soho house, Sean, if we get mobbed by Failing Better crew.
Yeah, we'll have to go somewhere more exclusive than the Thames. If there is such a place. In this case, it says if you invite loads of people, you might want to plan a separate lunch for close family members. This will allow you to have a more intimate family gathering where you can chat and not embarrass your child with your "I'm so proud of you" speech in front of her friends. I was planning on doing a speech like that at your...
I would love that, Sean. That would mean so much to me. What would you say in the speech?
So what? We're at the banks of the Thames. It's about 5 o'clock.
My grandma and grandpa are there, so don't make it blue.
Oh yeah, I won't make it blue. So it's weird because it's a mixed room, isn't it? Because you've got Jonny Pelham, you've got your dead grandparents, who are presumably at this point still pretty terrified about the fact that they've been brought back to life.
I would imagine they are hating it.
Yeah. We've got the clairvoyant that dragged them out of...
Hell. Let's be honest.
Hell.
There's no way my spawn is sort of...
deepest, darkest...
I'm spawned from a heavenly couple. And Kesha's there.
And we've got Kesha, of course. So I'd probably be like, hi, we're all gathered here to celebrate our good friend Jonny Pelham. I'm so proud of you, Jonny. I love everything about you, from your little glasses to your little smile. I think the way that you've handled the failure of our podcast with such dignity and grace has been a joy to witness. And I think I speak for all of us here when I say... Failing Better. And Kesha will join in, and maybe the crowds will join in.
I think that's really lovely.
How long do you think it'll take to explain to your dead grandparents what a podcast is? Do you reckon that's the bulk of the afternoon, or do you think they'd get it pretty quickly?
To be honest, I think I'd be like, so Grandma, I've got this podcast. They'd be saying, God, I've just been in hell for 40 years. It's one of the worst. Don't be good. Be moral, son. Be moral. Just trust me, the Christian God is the only real God. Follow him.
Were they about to say it's one of the worst places?
Yeah, well, their mind's been scrambled. Their mind's like a scrambled egg. They just don't know what's going on.
Yeah, they don't. Would you ask them for details about what hell's like?
I'd ask him for, mate, what I'd say is, I'd say, look, you're fucked, you made some poor choices, how do I not go there? That's what I'd say, what do I need to do?
All right, let's have the conversation. I'm your granddad. Say, I'm your granddad.
Yeah. Hello, granddad.
What's going on? Oh, I was in hell, and now where am I?
I'm somewhere worse.
No, I'm somewhere worse.
Listen to Kesha. Why did you go to hell? What was it about you that made hell the destination you ended up in?
Everyone goes to hell.
Everyone?
Not everyone, but if you're good, but most people aren't good.
But I'm good. And what does good mean? Specific. Because I've been reading the Bible, covet a man's ox. What the fuck does that mean?
Do you have a friend with an ox, Johnny?
Yes.
And do you want that ox?
More than anything.
That's right. That was my issue. That is the curse of the Pelham DNA.
We love oxen.
We just love oxen.
I need to move. Should I move away from the man with the ox? Is that what's...
Here's the problem. I believe that there is something in our DNA that destiny means that we will always be near ox and we will always covet them.
We've got a magnet with an ox. The ox community. Is there any way to change that? Is there anything I could do? Is there any learning? Is there any scripture? Is there any self-improvement a journey that I could go on would stop me coveting everyone's oxes?
Have you considered taking up heroin?
Yes.
Okay,
frequently.
do that.
Okay. Thank you, Grandpa. That feels very good advice.
Hey, also, can I just ask, what's a podcast?
A podcast is a chat two people have that's recorded and then put online onto mobile phones. Let's not get into what a mobile phone is now.
To be honest, a mobile phone is pretty understandable to me. It's two concepts I understand. Presumably it's a phone that you just take around.
Yes, but do you understand...
What's online?
Do you know what the internet is?
No, I don't know what the internet is.
The internet is, in the year 1992, a wizard came down.
Oh, shit. Johnny, shit.
Yeah.
There's a fucking ox over there. Don't look. Do not look. Do not look.
I'm looking.
Oh, God, I really want to fuck that ox so bad. I want to fuck that ox so bad. Oh, God, I really want to... Can I shag that ox, Johnny? Can I? I'm already in hell. I'm
Go
going
for it.
I'm going
for it. In hell, don't be... There's no point in being moral.
All right,
fuck
cool.
an ox.
You look the other way. Have a little splash in the Thames.
Yeah.
Play with your paddling stuff. I'm just going to go, hey, oxy baby. So that was a great conversation there.
I didn't like how in it my grandpa started shagging an ox. Every now and then my mum says, shall I listen to your podcast? I keep saying, I wouldn't.
We could do with the numbers. If she wants to sign up to Patreon, she could do what she wants. Listen, we haven't really got much time. Entertainment. It says you might want to hire a DJ.
Kesha in the house,
Exactly.
motherfucker.
It depends on your budget, but a good DJ can set you back around $500.
I'm not willing to pay Kesha that. I'm not willing to pay Kesha
You're
that.
not. No, Kesha, you have priced yourself out of a very exclusive job. Now, it says here that your teenage daughter will most likely want to get a special dress for the occasion. I assume you have a special dress for the occasion, Johnny?
Yeah, I've got my coconut bar and my long shorts.
Hula skirt.
Hula skirt, yeah.
There are so many options to choose from. It depends on the theme and style of party that's been chosen. So, yeah, your beach party. Now, it says for a traditional dance party, you'll probably want a beautiful gown for the father-daughter dance. I mean, at some point, are you going to be dancing with your dad?
I don't think so. I mean, currently my grandpa's fucking an ox. And I don't think my dad's there. So maybe you can take the father figure and we can have a dance together.
It'd be an absolute honour to slow dance with you
I would love
on the
that.
day of your super sweet 16th on the banks of the Thames to... What's the song? Is Kesha just playing TikTok?
I think... do you know any of Elsa's Kesha's back catalogue?
No.
She's doing TikTok again.
TikTok. As we do a very sincere, almost romantic slow dance.
On the clock, we have a dick on the bop.
Well, that's been the Super Sweet 16 episode. After listening to that, listeners, I mean, if you don't want to give us money, there must be something wrong with you.
You're fucking insane. Insane in the membrane. Oh, that's a podcast, isn't it? That's Rich Wilson's podcast.
Yeah, literally our producer also produces.
Yeah.
And you've both been on it.
I think we've both been on it.
Yeah. Oh, God. Anyway,
very good podcast. You should listen to that one.
But crucially, don't give... If there's two options, his or our Patreon, give it to us. Do you think that's fair to say, Sean?
Well, yeah, sure, whatever. I don't. If that's what if basically if your life has come down to I've got £5 and I need to spend it on one of these two podcasts, then I think you you probably have other issues going on in your life.
What a lot of podcasts say is things like, for just a price of coffee a month, you can help support us continue with this podcast. And that's because £3, it turns it into
I know what you mean. Jonny? Have I cut out, or is Jonny...
How easy it was.
Johnny's cut out.
Jonny cut out. Brilliant. Yeah. Brilliant end to the
Me or
pitch.
you, John?
It was you, Jonny. Right. We're going to do a mail and fail bag behind the paywall. In the meantime, genuinely, thank you so much. If you can't give us a donation, do give us a review, subscribe. A 5-star rating would be very useful. And thank you very much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's really good to be back.
It's lovely to be back. Thanks so much for listening, and have good lives.
And the key thing is, I'm still Sean McLaughlin.
And I'm still Adam Hill. I don't know if you were doing it with Adam Hill.
I think our listener base would be substantially higher if I was doing it with Adam Hill.
You're Sean McLaughlin, I'm Jonny Pelham, and together we are Failing Better!
A podcast from producerpaul.co.uk.